All right, let's do assignment 3. So you guys have done 1 and 2 now. Now it's going to be not really much more complicated. It's just you doing more of the same thing, just with a little bit more flair, a little more pizzazz. So we're going to, I was thinking of doing a pattern that's kind of starts up here and comes down, right? So we'll move this guy over here, upper corner, hit S, okay? And I'm just going to kind of keyframe my way through it and then clean it up as I go along. So I'm going to put in a little rotation just to make it a little bit more fun. So we're going to use translations and rotations here. So we're going to get to, let's say, so I'm going to say around 16. I'm going to move it here and then move it down and then rotate it like that. Right? And see what we get. Wait a minute, that's not what I wanted. Right? I wanted it to rotate. I wanted it to go straight and then come over a little edge there. So I could delete this and start over, or I could just copy this frame over like this to, let's say, 10 and hit S. So it stays there. Then just translate it over here, and then it'll rotate down like that a little bit. But I don't like that either. I want it to be about there when it starts to rotate. That's a little better. But I don't want it to come down so much, right? So I can translate it up like that. There we go. That's what I'm thinking about right there. Okay, so now that part looks pretty good. Let's play it. Okay, starts to go down. And then by the time it gets down to here, I want it to be almost, totally sideways. So I'm going to go to frame, let's say 21. I'm going to rotate it like that. And then I'm going to bring it down. Let's see what that looks like. Well, I don't want it to go straight down. I want it to go down at an angle, right? So this should probably be about there. Boom, like that, right? Looks pretty good. So then I want it to straighten out. Let's say by frame 26. I want it to be kind of straight. Now is that going to be correct? I don't know. We'll go over here. Look, I want it to be perfectly flat. So let's go here and let's make it 0. There. Now I know it's exactly level. But I don't like that either. I don't want it to go like this. I want it to feel like it's on a kind of traveling along a ramp. Right? So I could keyframe my way through this like that. Still doesn't look that good. Let's take this and move it like that. Looks kind of weak to me. So I'll turn this a little bit more like that. It's getting there, right? It feels a little too abrupt right here. That goes, changes direction, kind of rinky-dinky. So I think maybe this would be a little lower here. And then this would be a little lower. Zoom. Nope. Well, how am I going to fix it? Okay, well, maybe I'll just keep keyframing it until I get it to look right. Just keep using your eye, your judgment. Could look a little better, but we'll just go ahead and get it to the end here. Okay, transition it over there. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah, looks really robotic. Okay, well, how can we make it better? Let's put some time here at the top, right? Put a little time right there. Make sure everything's keyframed, so I'm going to go use the greater than less than keys. S. Done. Okay? So we got there. So I'm going to key this one. I'm going to grab all these, middle mouse them over there like that. And I'm going to grab that one and middle mouse it like that. So it's there for a long time. See what that looks like. Boom. Oh, that looks terrible. So that feels like this should be a lot faster if it's going to teeter that long. The transition here would be quicker, right? So I don't really like it. Feels like it's not rotating correctly. Too much of a stop there, right? Too much time. So I'm going to Z back. Boom, 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 boom. So what I'm going to do is add time between these two and just add a few frames. There, see what that looks like. A little better, okay? It still feels like it kind of goes right there, right? So instead of moving things around, I'm going to do something to smooth out the curve without doing anything really other than just rekeying it. So I'm going to go to frame 11 and hit S. I'm going to go to frame 9 and hit S. I'm going to take 10 and I'm going to delete it. Now that cut the edge off of it, right? So now it's a little smoother. So now I'm going to go from frame 11 to 12 to 13. I'm going to key 13 and delete 12. Let's look at that. A little smoother, okay? There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take 13 and everything after it and slide that over 2 more frames. I take this one more frame, make up the difference. Let's look at that. A little better, right? At least in terms of that. But it falls, to me, the fall looks weak right here, right? It feels really too mushy, right? It feels like this part should be down more. So I'm going to pull it down a little bit. So this lip kind of lines up with that. Right there. A little better. So when it gets to about there, I want it to speed up, right? So I'm going to take all these keyframes here and slide them forward by 1 frame. So I'm going to take that. Boom. Oh, I missed that one, didn't I? Okay. See what that looks like. Cool. Boom. But it feels too slow now right here, right? Feels like it gets here and just kind of stops and just moves along by itself. We want it to feel like it's going in fast and then slowing, right? So what I'm going to do is take a frame from here and slide that up, key it, and see what that looks like. Oh, that's too much, way too much. Okay, now instead of dragging and dropping keys, I'm going to look at the graph and see what it's doing. Okay, so in our X, which is the channel right there, see there it is right there, it goes up and then over there really fast, right? So let me shrink this down a wee bit. Like that so you can see it. So it kind of goes here and then speeds up and then slows down again. So that's our problem. So we could take this one and move it up like this. See what that looks like. There we go. Boom. Looks pretty good, right? Now we're getting kind of what we want. Now, what if we wanted to make this come to a complete stop before the end of the frame? Or the end of the thing here. So we could take like frame 54, middle mouse drag that up to, let's say, 41. Hit S. Now that's going to be flat up there. You see that? So let's see if it transitions okay. It feels like it stops too fast for me. Now to get it to transition nicer, all we have to do is go to frame 42, hit S, go to 39, hit S, and then delete 41. Now we just cut the edge off. Zoom. Nice, right? Whew. Nice and smooth. Cool. So that's pretty much what I would like for you guys to do. Try whatever pattern you like, you know, from top to bottom, bottom to top, whatever. If you want to go down and up, that's okay. But use those keyframes, or use those translations and rotations, and have some fun.